This is how we start off our shows. Okay, we start off on the left side and we go. Hodl, 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 save, 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 builder, 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 sound money, sound money. Okay, this is Ugly Old Goat here. Hey, did you catch what I said? I said hodl, save, builder, sound money, not Bitcoin. Wow, isn't that strange? Well, that's because our real goal here is sound money. Bitcoin is the way that we're going to get to sound money. We're going to get into that in a little bit, but before I get started, I want to invite everybody listening, don't miss Tokenville's Financial Summit 2022. It's in the Dominican Republic. Now, I have never missed one of these. I was at the one in Bali, I was at the one in Dubai, and now the first week of August, Goat Lady and I are going to be at the Dominican Republic. And I'm looking forward to it. Never been there, always wanted to go. Now, he's rented a whole castle. This is one-on-one, a very intimate conference. Everything's included. The hotel room, all your food, all your drinks, I think even the alcohol, beverage, everything's included. You just sit back and relax, and we talk Bitcoin and exchange ideas. So go to, that is thefinancialsummit.com, and you can sign up for it. I think there's a few spaces still left, so don't miss it. Goat Lady and I will be here. Okay, let's get going. I'm going to do the read-through of my latest article, which I just finished yesterday, and it's called The Tale of Two Toxic Cities, Tokenville and Maximalville. Now, actually, at first I called it Maximalistville, but somebody tweeted me, you know, it'd be better just to call it Maximalville, and I agreed, so I changed it. So I thank whoever made that suggestion, and I do listen to people that tweet me. So let me go through and start reading it. As we witness the predictable cleansing of DeFi's, NFTs, and shitcoin banks, which are exchanges, it is necessary to examine the thinking which brought us here. Now, why, if Bitcoin truly stands alone, has it followed and at times led the current deleveraging phenomena? Now, here's an image of Sodom and Gomorrah, and I may be I'm being a little bit toxic myself to relating the two, Sodom and Gomorrah, but these are what I call toxic Tokenville and toxic Maximalville. Now, those of you who followed me for a long time know that I've never considered myself Bitcoin maximalist. I've actually written an article why, and it's because this is a term that was actually coined by a Bitcoin hater. He said he's not, but he really is, and that is Vitalik Buterin, who created Ethereum and basically enabled all this shitcoin and DeFi stuff that's going on right now. So, and then because you've had when he came up with the term maximalist, a lot of people that believed in sound money grabbed hold of it and they ran with it. I get it. It's a lot of fun. You know, people that believe in sound money, we tend to have a very good sense of humor. People that don't believe in sound money, they don't have a very good sense of humor. They can't laugh at themselves and you know, they can only poke fun at other people, but they can never laugh at themselves. And I think as Bitcoiners, sound money advocates, we have a lot more fun, and I think that's because we're able to laugh at ourselves. So the fundamental scam with the crypto world is premised on the Keynesian notion that money creation creates wealth. In Tokenville, the citizens and its culture look for the next Bitcoin, a blockchain better than Bitcoin, or a blockchain with a use case apart from Bitcoin. Now, Tokenville voices altruistic goals like banking the unbanked, distributing wealth without worker production of wealth, and arbitraging the declining value of created spirit, and I call them spirit assets here, from pump and dump schemes, aptly called in today's lingo virtual assets. And guys, it's what it is. They're not assets, they're virtual assets. You've created them out of nothing with no real value behind them, and you're just playing this this game, you know, a perpetual motion machine that, of course, doesn't work. So tokenism, or Tokenville, displays an incredible inability to learn that Bitcoin is a unique innovation because it is the longest chain, the most secure chain, blockchain, and with proof of work, a fixed supply, decentralized, and easily transferable between nations, divisible and unconfiscatable so long as you alone hold the private key. The fundamental goal in Tokenville Tokenville is to make Bitcoin less than what it is and to make banking more than what it is. Guys, what I'm going to try and do over the next couple articles I'm writing is try and show you what Bitcoin is, not more than what it is, and not less than what it is, and what banking is, and not more than what it is, and not less than what it is. Now, there is a fundamental spiel in, and I love that name, spiel, I think it's a German word, of Maximalville, and it implies that Bitcoin alone is insufficient. Something more is needed. It's puritanism without purity. The fundamental goal of Maximalistville, I have to add Maximalville, is to make Bitcoin more than what it is and banking less than what it is. Now, here's an article that my good friend Knut Svanholm wrote, and he says, why Bitcoin maximalism is a non sequitur. Great link, go and visit it. I'll be quoting it later, but this was a great article that came to my mind, and he just says the notion of Bitcoin maximalism is wrong, and it's counterproductive and misses the whole point of this century's greatest invention. Now, there is a common ground, and I don't think the Tokenville or Maximalville will admit to this, but they both have common ground, and it's a toxic failure to recognize Bitcoin for what it is. And that is the only viable standard for private digital money and free banking. Now, while on the surface, these two sides appear in conflict, both cities are toxic in that they operate under the notion that markets should be regulated and incorporated into the legacy financial system. In this sense, both cities need purging by Bitcoin standard bearers. And here's an article I wrote, my last one that I wrote, on how both the Bitcoin maximalists and the crypto world, they're both encouraging SEC regulations. Now, last September, I outlined how legal tender, legacy participation, and Bitcoin exchanges were bearish for Bitcoin. Now, this view was largely discounted, and people just poo-pooed me. They thought I was nuts, and I'll admit to that. But they discounted that, and because Bitcoin went to $30,000 and then screamed to $40,000, $50,000, $60,000. And the markets rebelled in Jack Mallers' revelation in Miami that announcing that San Salvador was making Bitcoin legal tender. And then they held Jack Saylor's MicroStrategy, which is a major legacy corporation, for adopting Bitcoin in its corporate treasury. Now, of these three fundamentals, however, two can largely be attributed to toxic Maximalville. Only one can be attributed to toxic Tokenville. And here's some more links that I have. Gold is viable Bitcoin competition. Okay. And are legal tender laws an oxymoron? These are other articles I have written addressing these issues. This article just develops it a little farther. But toxic maximalism implies that something better may exist, suggesting, well, just a little nudge from the government or a central authority is necessary to make it work better. After all, an unfettered Bitcoin needs help. And this is toxic maximalist thinking in a nutshell. Now, there are a lot of people that identify themselves as maximalists, and they're not toxic. But most of these toxic maximalists, I know them, and hey, I love you guys. This is constructive criticism. I get it. I understand your thinking, but you probably don't want to hear it. But, if I'm saying what I'm saying is untrue, fine. But I think you have, when it comes down to it, you have to admit that it's valid, even though you may not like to hear it. Tokenville has brought unsound Bitcoin banking. And, of course, we have seen that now through all the shit coins. And this is a biggie. I mean, it operates under the premise that creating money creates wealth. And this is what we're suffering from now. But Bitcoin works, and nowhere is this more evident than Tokenville's exchanges and DeFis are quickly becoming a sideshow during this liquidation. Guys, they're becoming less and less relevant, and this will continue to happen. Bitcoin works, okay? And I'm not worried about all the stuff that's going on. Yeah, it's too bad people are losing their shirt, but there is such a thing as caveat emptor. Buyer beware. You got to do your own research. If you don't know what you're doing, then don't get into it. Stay with what you know, do it well, and buy Bitcoin. But by far, the current squeeze is coming from the Maximalistville and promoting Bitcoin integration with the legacy system by promoting Bitcoin as collateral for legacy loans. And I mean, I actually seen it. I've known people that they were led into the oh, we've got this Plan B model. It's going to go to $200,000. So I just borrow against my $50,000 Bitcoin, and I can live off of the proceeds. Don't have to work. Don't have to produce wealth, and that's how Bitcoin works. Well, these guys are losing their hodl now because you got to pay the piper, and that $50,000 Bitcoin is not 500,000, but it's worth under 20,000. Well, I guess it's over 20,000 today. But this presents a far greater danger because toxic Maximalville the goal is to help Bitcoin through a broken legacy system, which we have seen as no help at all. You guys, the legacy system is beyond fixing. Now you can take bits and pieces of it and put it together on something else, but we got to just stay out of the legacy system because they want your Bitcoin, they want control, they want your wealth, they want control over you, your person, and what you have. Maximal integration with the legacy system is not only unnecessary, but it's dangerous, and it really undermines the goal of sound money. And so I've come up with a different term, what I think is more accurate. And there's another article I wrote, which you might want to read. Legal tender, legacy participation, and exchanges led to the Bitcoin liquidity crisis. Okay, so I have come up with this term, sound money maximalism. And that's based on the idea that Bitcoin alone is digital money. Now, I'm not going to argue in this article why. Rather, this is my premise so that we can all reason together and in understanding be men. And that's why my mantra, when at the beginning of the show, I go, hodl, save, build a sound money. Please note, I'm not saying hodl, save, build a Bitcoin. Now, I love Bitcoin. Bitcoin's sound money. It's the only digital sound money, and that's the innovation. But the goal is not Bitcoinization. The goal is sound money. If we had sound money, Bitcoin has no use case. Okay? So if we get sound money, we don't need Bitcoin. But, the fact is that's probably never going to happen, at least not in this world. And so we are going to need Bitcoin, and Bitcoin serves a very good purpose of keeping government money honest. And while I regard it as the only sound standard for digital money, the goal is not hyper-Bitcoinization. The goal is sound money. If we had sound money, Bitcoin has no use case. And while Bitcoin may become, a new world currency, this is hardly assured, and I think it's arguably not desirable. Private money or Bitcoin can better act as a decentralized governor to keep government money more honest than it is today, and more honest than I think it has been in the past. And there have been times, notably very brief times, where we have had sound money in isolated cases. And one of the places was the United States. We had sound money for particularly during the Gilded Age, and that's when the gold standard emerged through the development of sound commercial banking. Now, to quote my good friend Knut Svanholm above, the notion that Bitcoin maximalism is wrong. It is counterproductive and misses the whole point of this century's greatest innovation. First of all, it implies that there are viable alternatives to Bitcoin, that we can somehow keep the promise of sound money without pulling the rope in the same direction. To really understand why this is impossible, we have to rewind the tape of recent history to the point where the idea of decentralized money was born in the first place, the financial crisis of 2008. Not too long after this idea, an idea was born, an idea of peer-to-peer sound money that could be sent from and to anywhere, and received by anyone, anywhere in the world. Most people in crypto get the idea of peer-to-peer money, but not the idea of sound money, which is the aspect of Bitcoin that truly makes it unique. Bitcoin was invented not only with a double spend prevention mechanism on board, but as an antidote to double spending on the whole. Double spending, which includes counterfeiting and therefore inflation. And I emboldened the emphasis up there because I thought that was a very important sentence. So in the end, if the end is sound money, and I do believe that's the end, it should be for reasonable men, then the means are primary, and honest money will result slowly but surely. If the goal is sound money, then Bitcoin will play a diminished role as simply a standard or measuring stick for wealth created and exchanged between men of integrity. Again, Bitcoin as a standard, Bitcoin is a great innovation. Bitcoin as a standard is a different thing. And it's a measuring stick. And Bitcoinization is not necessary. Rather, Bitcoin is simply a tool to keep government and free market banking honest. So I'll be developing these ideas later, but I wanted to throw this out here because we're in the middle of all this controversy. We have some of the Bitcoin toxic Bitcoin maximalists are going after some people that I have high regard for, and I think they've said some things they'd rather take back. But basically, I think it boils down to we really don't appreciate the uniqueness of Bitcoin, and we either make too much of it or too little of it, and really, and usually it's to suit our own confirmation bias or what our business enterprises. So at any rate, that's it. I'm going to be working on a new article here. It's almost done. Hopefully I'll get it. I might get it out today, but I doubt it because I want to make sure it's pretty good. But I'm doing an article called "Hodlers Are the Bank of Last Resort in a World of Free Market Banking on the Bitcoin Standard." And guys, I think this is a unique concept that people don't really understand, but we are, as a hodler, that's what your role is. And you won't see what's going on today if we can achieve that. What you're seeing today is you have all this wealth, or non-wealth, that's been created. All of this inflationary, just money creation with no wealth behind it. Now you can actually create money, not out of nothing, but you create it representing the new wealth coming into the marketplace. And and you can actually create this non-inflationary money. It's non-inflationary purchasing media because what you do is you estimate the wealth of this new wealth on the standard that you use, whether that be Bitcoin or gold. And then as that money is spent, it's retired. So you actually have a money supply that is being regulated by the market. But the problem we have now is there's no wealth representing all this shitcoin money floating around, and the only innovation, the only real use is Bitcoin. And so they have to have Bitcoin as basically a solid foundation to make it work. So at any rate, if you want to support my work, I do want to show you the Bitcoin Start Kit. I've got 2 books. I have these. In fact, I got them right here. These are available on Amazon now. The first one I wrote into last year, How to Put Yourself on the Bitcoin Standard in One Easy Lesson. Okay, these books are like Dr. Seuss books. They're fully illustrated, color pictures. If you order them, now you can get them on Amazon. They're not cheap, like they're $129, but I got a special deal if you order them through me directly. And then my latest book is called Equity Trading. And again, these are hardback books. Like I say, they're real NFTs because I'll be actually signing these. You'll also get a ebook version of those. We're also giving you'll get a lot of little goodies. Like here are some Bitcoin coupons or certificates that we made for the Goat Lady's Car Wash. And this is like 10, we call them as stand hours, or 10 standards, which is about 1,000 Satoshis, or about 20 cents. And here's 5. This is worth about 10 cents. There's a picture of the map where you can redeem them. And then here's one for 5, which is about, 10 cents. These are about, I guess, 20 cents. So 20 cents. So anyway, these are kind of unique. Definitely a collector's piece, particularly if something like that catches on, which I think it eventually will. You'll also in the kit, now you may already have these, and that's fine. This is our gift to you. You'll get Saifedean's book, and you know what? If you already have it, give it away. We got to educate other people. You'll get a little coloring book or book explaining Bitcoin to kids. You're going to get the little Bitcoin book by Jimmy Song and his friends. And then we're going to get sovereignty through mathematics through Knut Svanholm. And you'll get a Jade wallet. Guys, you get all this for $199.95 plus shipping. And so you really can't beat it. That's how you can support my work. And that's it. So hope you enjoyed this little rant. Again, I'm coming back alive. I'm going to be doing more and more of this. And hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.